Hello and welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Yesterday a slew of new video clips were posted on Diablo3.com showing off various skills for all of the character classes in the game. In those clips we also get a sneak peek at some of the areas and enemies we will be encountering in Sanctuary. I just wanted to take a moment to compile all of those clips for you into one video. Starting with the Barbarian, Ancient Spear throws a spear to pull an enemy back to you, briefly slowing the target's movement by 60% and dealing 185% weapon damage. Earthquake shakes the ground violently, dealing 1600% weapon damage as fire over 8 seconds, to all enemies within 18 yards. Overpower deals 260% weapon damage to all targets within 9 yards. If Overpower critical hits, the cooldown is automatically reset. Furious Charge causes you to rush forward, knocking back enemies and inflicting 195% weapon damage to all enemies along the path of the charge. Next we have the Demon Hunter. Rain of Vengeance fires a massive volley of arrows around you. Arrows fall from the sky, dealing 91% weapon damage for 5 seconds to all enemies in the area. Cluster Arrow fires a cluster arrow that explodes for 200% weapon damage as fire into a series of additional miniature bombs that explode for 100% weapon damage as fire each. Multi-Shot fires a massive volley of arrows, dealing 115% weapon damage to all enemies within the area. Spike Trap lays a trap that arms itself after 1.2 seconds and triggers when the enemy approaches. The trap does 135% weapon damage to all enemies within 8 yards. You can have a maximum of 3 Spike Traps active at one time. Now on to the Monk. Serenity envelops you in a protective shield that absorbs all incoming damage for 3 seconds and grants immunity to all control impairing effects. Mantra of Conviction recites a mantra that causes all enemies within 20 yards of you to take 12% additional damage this last 3 minutes. For 3 seconds after activation, the effect is increased to 24% additional damage. Mystic Ally summons an elemental ally capable of engaging enemies in combat until it is destroyed. The ally deals 40% of your weapon damage as physical per swing. Now on to the Witch Doctor. Acid Cloud rains down acid, dealing an initial 125% weapon damage as poison, followed by 25% weapon damage as poison to enemies who remain in the area for 3 seconds. Big Bad Voodoo summons a fetish to begin a ritual dance that increases the attack speed and movement speed of all allies in the area by 20% for 20 seconds. And finally we have the Wizard. Disintegrate thrusts a beam of pure energy forward, dealing 170% weapon damage as arcane, and disintegrates enemies it kills. Energy Armor focuses your energies, increasing your armor by 65%, but lowers your maximum arcane power by 20, last 120 seconds. Familiar summons a companion that will attack your targets for 20% weapon damage as arcane. This companion cannot be targeted or damaged by enemies, pet last 120 seconds. Hydra summons a multi-headed Hydra for 15 seconds that attacks enemies with bolts of fire, dealing 25% weapon damage as fire. You may only have one Hydra active at a time. Mirror Image summons 2 illusionary duplicates of yourself that last for 7 seconds and have 25% of your life. The images may cast some of the same spells as you, but those spells deal no damage. Meteor summons an immense meteor that plummets from the sky, causing 250% weapon damage as fire to all enemies it crashes onto. The ground it hits is scorched and the molten fire deals 100% weapon damage as fire over 3 seconds. Ray of Frost projects a beam of frozen ice that blasts 200% weapon damage as cold to the first enemy it hits, slowing the target's movement by 30% and attack speed by 20% for 3 seconds. Alright my friends, so those are all the recently released skill video clips on Diablo3.com. I just once more wanted to compile it into one video. And I'm sure as you saw throughout those clips, we did get to take a look at some very neat new locations as well as enemy types. Really excited as we are ramping up for the release of the game. Stay tuned in the future for more content on this channel. Be sure to subscribe if you like what you see. As always guys, keep watching and keep owning.